Hi, I'm Pastor Robert Somerville. Glad you stopped by. You're probably surfing the net and happened by. Could be, but we want to welcome you and just camp out with us a little bit here while we introduce ourselves and what the future holds for this series of teaching that we're going to have for the next month, perhaps a little more. But before I get into our teaching, I have an announcement to make. I want to invite you to an event called the Christ Hour Passover. It will be held at the Von Braun Civic Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and it'll be April the 11th. So mark your calendars. We invite you to be with us. It's trans-denominational. You're invited, and you're not at risk, no matter who you are, because it is a unity festival at the Passover Day. And we here at Awareness Ministry believe that we should begin to study, recognize, and honor the biblical holidays. And in that series, we will refer to 7 specific days of the year that the Bible suggests or advises us to honor the Lord for the deeds that He has done on those great days. And the first one is on Passover. And I want to read a passage of Scripture found in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 and 8, and I want you to listen to it very closely. He says, concerning the church in Corinth, he said, Christ, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed. Therefore, let us keep the feast. Now, I don't know how you could be any more clear in Paul's words. In simplistic terms, he's saying, Corinthian church, I want you to celebrate the Feast of Passover every year in a communion style, saying that the communion should be held on the Passover day annually. Now, not that you can't have communion any day, anytime you feel so inspired, but it should not be at the expense of ignoring the Passover day itself. It's easy to find on the calendar. This year, it happens to be April the 11th. April the 11th, and we invite you, as I said earlier, to come and be with us because it's a teaching event and it's also a banquet. So the unity is involved with the banquet because there's an international law that if I have a meal with you, that means I accept you on some level as being my equal. So I encourage you to remember the scripture I just read. 1 Corinthians, write it down. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 and 8. And examine it, study it, see if what I've said is so. I hope that you will come back and be with us as we dig a little deeper into that verse as well as others that relates to the coming Christ our Passover, the Passover day, April 11th. Now, we want you to remember, this is a series, and our next episode is going to be on Psalms 116, verse 24, which says, this is a day that the Lord has made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. Was he speaking of any day, every day, or a specific day? Come back and be with us. We'll discuss that. Thank you for watching.